Hey there guys, welcome back to AFC Game by Game. This is my review of Arsenal 1, Liverpool 1. The fact that I'm leaving this game feeling frustrated that we haven't come out of it with 3 points tells you all you need to know about how Arsenal played tonight. A really resilient, defiant and exciting performance from us to really cement our status as, I'm not going to say a title challenger, but as a top team this season, I like to think. Obviously it's incredibly early days, but I think there was a lot of speculation over whether this positive run of form we'd been on had just been a false dawn or whether we were the real deal. And I'm not saying we're the real deal just yet, but I do like to think that we are becoming a much better side because of this result this evening. We came up against the Champions League finalists of last year. Let's not forget that. A lot of respect has to go to what Jurgen Klopp has done with Liverpool, and the fact that they're 3 years ahead of us in terms of their transitional movement, the transfer windows they've had to build their team, the fact they've brought in players like Van Dijk, Fabinho, Keita. They've got that fantastic front three of Salah, Firmino and Mane, who were kept very quiet tonight, by the way. They've had time to integrate and build a fantastic side, and we've matched them tonight, if not done better than them. And the fact we haven't come away with a win is disappointing, but the performance is the most important thing given the stage we're in, and we're still right up there at the top of the table. I mean, not literally top of the table, but we're at the right end of the table. We're getting the points on the board. We're still undefeated, and then we've got a winnable game next week against Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, and I mean, that would be hopefully the start of another little winning run for us. But this evening was really positive, and I'm left feeling really good about things. The performance was exceptional from Arsenal, from the goalkeeper through to the centre forward. It was really, really positive. Of course, there are a few players that I don't think performed entirely well. I think Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan struggled in this game. I think Leno had a few haphazard moments, but for the most part, what he does in terms of our build-up play is sensational, and you can tell that he's becoming a more vital part to how we want to play going forward. But I think on a couple of the chances that Liverpool had, especially that Van Dijk one, he could have been a little bit better. But saying that, I mean, I don't want to put too much criticism on his name. The two that really I feel could have done more were Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan in particular, I do sometimes feel a little bit hesitant when I see him on the team sheet. I do kind of wonder if he is suited to these kind of games. I think my opinion on Mkhitaryan is that he's a very good squad player, but I don't think he's good enough to be starting for us, especially in these matches. I look to the bench and I see that we've got Iwobi, who's banging form, and he was really good when he came on this evening. We've got a refreshed squad now compared to the game against Selhurst Park, where we were a bit sluggish, and I think you saw that particularly in Iwobi, who looked a lot more alive when he came into the game. Danny Welbeck, who I think is a better option for us as well. We needed players, I think, in this match to tire Liverpool out. Had we started this game with Mkhitaryan on the bench, maybe Danny Welbeck and Iwobi starting in place of Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, and then later on in the game introduced Aubameyang in particular from the 60-minute mark, I really do think we would have won this game. I think had Welbeck started in particular ahead of Mkhitaryan, it would have worked better for us. Mkhitaryan does some good things, but in terms of a work rate and a work ethic, I think it would have been a little bit more beneficial just to have started Danny Welbeck, just because he would have run Liverpool down, and then you bring on Aubameyang in the later stages of the game. He can run in behind, cause problems to this Liverpool side. But I mean, don't take my word for it. It could have gone completely differently had that happened. But for the most part, the team was really good. The back four was exceptional. Bellerin was exceedingly good at right back. Mustafi and Rob Holding were brilliant in the course of this game. Mustafi only getting a 5 rating from Sky Sports, which is beyond belief considering how good he was. Not just in defence, but the balls he was playing going forward, spraying it out from centre half, absolutely superb. Rob Holding, unbelievable in that second half in particular. And at left back, Kolasinac, who hasn't played a lot of football recently, came in and kept Mo Salah quiet, who's in an unbelievable streak of form, as we know. So he did brilliantly this evening. It's really positive to see him coming back into the side. And that back four, I don't know if it's... I do still think it needs improvement. I do still think we need one more powering addition. But you look at the age of these players. Mustafi, I believe, is about 26 years old. You've got Holding, who's only 23. Bellerin, that's 23. Kolasinac is about 25. So that's a defence that could last for the next couple of years at least. And then you look ahead to the midfield. Xhaka and Torreira. Xhaka was brilliant tonight. For me, his best performance in an Arsenal shirt. He was really, really exceptional. Played at the highest level. And you look at Fabinho on the opposing team, who didn't have a good game tonight, and he cost absolutely shed loads of money. I'm not saying Xhaka was cheap by any means, but he put in a really resilient performance tonight, and he's a guy that's been slated and criticised, and tonight he put in a hearty, robust, perfectly composed midfield performance. He was exceptional, and Torreira alongside him, he just keeps on doing what he does, which is be an absolute terrier in midfield. And those two, again, Torreira's 22, and he plays like a guy that is about 27, 28 years old. He is so mature beyond his years. And with Jack alongside him, who's not much older, we've got a midfield there that's that could well see us for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Hopefully if it keeps up. But those two are looking brilliant in the midfield. I wouldn't want to change a thing. Ozil at number 10, I thought he played really well tonight. It's just those two on the wings, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, where I think we were let down a little bit tonight. But Lacazette through the middle, thought he did some very good things throughout the course of this game. Of course, his goal in the second half was brilliant. That first half was, I mean, Liverpool, I think, had the better chances, but we dominated the fair share of possession. The Virgil van Dijk chance, the Mane goal, which was ruled out, which, you know, a lot of controversy about that, but that was a real let-off for us. We were, for the most part, I think we dominated the game, as I say, but it was Liverpool that had the better chances. In that second half, though, we really started to come into our own, as we typically do in the second half, but it was Liverpool that got the opportunity and the goal through James Milner. Unfortunate, it was a really good cross-in from Mane, parried back into danger by Leno, and unfortunately, James Milner was there on hand to finish with a really good goal, to be fair to him, to make it 1-0 to Liverpool, which I don't think was deserved at that point in the game, especially as we were starting to grow into it. But fair play, we were really resilient after that, and we came back with a brilliant goal 20 minutes later through Lacazette. And I mean, the audacity to first of all take on the shot just shows how much confidence this guy has oozing through his veins at the minute. Brilliant build-up play again to the goal, and then to just that finish was exceptional. Brilliant work from Lacazette to make it 1-1. And it's a shame that we couldn't cap this performance off. We had a couple of chances later. Bellerin had a fantastic chance. Iwobi really injected life into the team when he came on. Welbeck looked really good. It's fantastic that we've got these options to come on from the bench. We brought on Ramsey, Welbeck and Iwobi. Some of the best options that you're going to see off the bench in the Premier League, I believe. I don't think I'm exaggerating there. We've got a very healthy, robust and exciting team at the minute. I know those are the 3 words that I'm using, but that's how I would describe this Arsenal side. Emery has installed a mentality and a belief in his team that I haven't seen at Arsenal in a good long while, and the fact that we matched Liverpool and were considerably better than them at points in this game really does fill me with confidence. It's not the results I wanted. I would have taken it before the game, of course, but given how we played, I wanted a win. And I'm really looking forward to when we next play Liverpool, because away from home, I think we can certainly take the game to them and hopefully come away with 3 points. But Liverpool, the fact that they were bringing on Matip in the final minutes of the game just tells you everything you need to know about what they thought of this performance from us and from them as well. The fact they wanted to close up shop and take the point, they were satisfied with that. But I'm really looking forward to these big games now, because I think we've got the capabilities to go into these matches and get all 3 points. We've got Tottenham, we've got United coming up, and I've got no worries whatsoever about those games. I'm confident that we can get victories in them if we play the way that we did tonight. We were unfortunate this evening, and on another day we would have claimed all 3 points. But I'm seeing so much healthy balance across this team. The midfield's fantastic. The defence was a lot more positive this evening. If we can get that back 4, that back 5 with Leno in goal as well, working on a consistent basis, then we've definitely got something to build from. Let's not forget we've got Socrates to come back, we've got Mavropanos to come back, we've got Monreal to come back. So defensively, you know, there is still work to be done and there's additions to come back, but I wouldn't, based on tonight's performance, I wouldn't be looking to change that back 4 anytime soon. The midfield, Torreira and Xhaka, I mean, it's the best midfield we've had in some time. The best midfield we've had since probably Cazorla Coquelin, which isn't saying much given that they only lasted about 6 months. But those two, I think we've got something to build on. We've definitely got something for the long term there. And Xhaka's looking like a different player with Torreira alongside him. And he's probably having his best season in an Arsenal shirt so far. Been so composed and so dynamic under Unai Emery's system. It's just that free behind the striker where I think we need to work things out a little bit more. I'd definitely be looking to, I think Ozil and Iwobi are probably my 2 nailed on ones for the minute, but it's a question mark over, do we start Aubameyang, do we start Welbeck, do we start Mkhitaryan, and then up top Lacazette, who's, you know, first name on a team sheet at the minute with what he's doing. So yeah, good times, and it's good to have such a healthy squad. It's good to see us playing so well. Really looking forward to watching Match of the Day this evening and watching about that Arsenal performance. But a lot to build on, a lot to be happy about, and a lot to take into that game in the week against Sporting. Hopefully get a win there, and then we can get another winning run going, as I said earlier on in the video. It's a great time to be an Arsenal fan, and let the good times roll. That's all I'll say. Anyway, guys, please let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and as always, I'll speak to you very, very soon. See you later, guys.